Everyone, I don't know if you're interested in this video, but I need to get a coat of paint on this cabinet. It's just a simple cabinet I made out of MDF. It's going to be spun on the side and it's going to be used as a TV unit. So you'll have to stay posted because I'm going to be making a beautiful oaken clad in this. I got a nice custom thing in my mind I'm going to do with this. There's a lot of stuff I'd like to do with this, but these are going to be future videos. I know those of you who have been waiting to actually carry on with the maple boards video. I am going to be getting back on that. I do apologise for not jumping on those lives in the last few weeks. The weather has been nice in the UK. And I'd also just like to point out that I will be jumping back on the maple jobs, all right? I've just been very busy pricing jobs on Saturdays and sending quotes on Sundays. It's been very busy, extremely busy as a business. I can't complain. I'm booked right up. But the people are still asking for quotes and they're all willing to wait. So I got to go ahead with that, because if I'm not earning money with my normal business, I can't be doing YouTube videos either, because I use the money from the one business to fund the videos on here. So here goes. We're just going to do a spot of painting. That's all. I'm not going to be talking a lot on this video, just so you know. So it's just a simple cabinet. I'll probably paint the big side first. All right. Don't know if those of you have seen, I will post on a video how to knock these up and keep them nice and solid. As you can see, this is a solid cupboard, look, see? There's no movement in it, it's all wood glued. I use the same procedure every time I make my cabinets and they do not fall apart. So you can see how to do cabinet making on some of my videos. There's also videos you can jump on of how to make doors. There's plenty of them for you to watch. But I'll just wait for that, a load of you to jump on, and I will start painting this, because I need to crack on. But sadly I haven't got my radio on now because we're on a live. Here's the paint I got for this. Well, I've used it on my cabinets upstairs. This is a Dulux satin wood, and it is called, what is this? Pressed Putty. It's a nice colour. It's quite a modern colour. Me and the missus like it. We picked it up for the bedroom. We got a big can of it made up, and it's, you know what, it's spread quite far, this have. So I'm just trying to use this way, because what I want to do, I want to keep the label on the front of the paint. I've had this about a year now, mind, I'm not going to lie. So I don't want bits in my paint, but it doesn't matter if we do, because we'll be putting a first coat on, and then we'll be doing a little sand. So that's the plan of action. So I'm just popping a bit of paint in here. What I've done today now, I've just popped a coat of undercoat on here. Alright, I am going to be posting a little video as well for those of you who haven't jumped on what undercoats you should be using on MDF. I will grab the undercoat I've been using by here. Alright, this undercoat is made by Leyland. You can't really see what it is now, mind. This undercoat is made by Leyland. It's an MDF primer, right? So that's a really good undercoat, this one. You pop this on, and it's very, very tough. Let me grab another undercoat I normally use as well. What's that one? This is another undercoat I use on MDF as well. This is a fast drying Leyland one, all right? So both of these are good for MDF. Don't have a problem with none of them. Alright, but certainly do not use white paint as undercoat, just so you know. So let me just get my brush. Don't really need that just yet, so I'll pop that aside. And I'm just going to get some paint on here. This is a lovely colour, this. I don't know if any of you like it, but I do. It's a bit different to what I'm normally painting. Working in people's houses, and you make these cupboards and they all want grey, 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 grey. That's all it ever is grey. So I wanted something a bit different in my house. This is like a putty. So now I'm applying this. I can see if I got any pinholes to fill. I've just seen one there, but I'm not too bothered by that, and I'll tell you why. Because I don't know why. No, I do know why. You're not going to see a lot of this now. This cupboard, right, it is going to be featured, not this cupboard by her as such, but what I'm going to be cladding it in. I'm going to be making some custom oak pieces for this. It's going to be some oak doors, We're going to be making a lovely top for this. I'm a bit undecisive what to do with it yet. I do know what I want to do with it, but I keep changing my mind. I don't know if any of you are like that, doing jobs yourselves. You think of something and then you keep changing your mind on what you want to do. So this is why this job has taken me so long to get on with in the house, because I keep changing my mind. Now I don't know what to do with it yet. Well, I do know what I want to do, but then I change my mind anyway. So you will be seeing a video on a nice oak cupboard I'm going to be making. This is going to be one long TV cabinet. It's going to be lit with Alexa lighting, which is nice. I can show you the brand that I had to buy in the UK. Brilliant lighting. It's very cheap, very bright. So yeah, this is what we're doing. This is good. I'm just tidying this up for now. I'm chucking a few coats of paint on this so I can just fit it in the house quick. The missus can be happy for 5, and then I can make all the oak and surround it and make the doors then. So we're just going to have an open cabinet for now, and then obviously when I get around to making all the lovely oak, then I can start fitting this cabinet out then. So it'll be a bit like a kitchen unit. It's going to have a couple of side panels. It's going to have a row of 5 doors, and then it's going to be finished with a resin top. I've got some ideas what I'm doing with the resin. I don't think I've seen it before, so I think it's going to be something new. I'm hoping it's going to be something new. I know people are getting bored of resins now, but I don't want to go too wild with the resin, but I do want to make something nice. For the beauty of resin, you can get a couple of rough pieces of material like oak, and then you can join them together with the resin. So you can buy some old oak, some rough looking oak, and you can make it look pretty basically. So we're just chucking a couple of coats of paint on this today now. Just trying to see if I got any bits in there. If I have, I'll resand and I'll do it. But I put a couple of coats of undercoat on prior to laying this paint, alright? I'd use these rollers that I'm using by here. Any cheap. These are little mini gloss roller I'd use. Loads of you will probably see these on my videos when we've been painting doors. Let me grab a door just to show you. Right. These are the sorts of doors I'd make for customers. Only simple. We just paint them with the gloss rollers. Nice and easy. So let me jump back on to what I was doing. Like I said, this is just a simple cabinet. Alright, it's only made out of MDF. It's nice and solid, mind. Alright, when you wood glue it together, it doesn't fall apart. This is only going straight in the house, this. All it is, simple cabinet, and I'm just going to put my hand on the side. So I'll just sort that out now. It's a lovely paint. I am a fan of Dulux, I'm not going to lie. I don't know what the best paint brand is in America, but we do like the Dulux in the UK. I do anyway, personally. So I just got to get a coat of paint on here. A little bit awkward getting into here. Now when I was undercoating this last weekend, I was outside. And it was a bit awkward because I was leaning in and trying to get in with the brush, and it was very, very awkward. So I've decided to paint this standing up now. And then I can get it fitted in the house then, see? So let me just tip this back. Bit of timber lock. Pop that under there. And then I can get to my face then, see? Look at that. Simple as that. With MDF, painting these fronts can be a bit of a nightmare, these. But as long as you've sanded them in between coats, which I have, they do finish nice and flat then. A lot of people don't like MDF for that reason, but I am a fan of MDF because it does paint up nice. Obviously it's a lot of work, a lot of undercoats, a lot of top coats, blah blah blah, but it does paint up lovely. So I'm just going to get a couple of coats of paint on here today now, and then I think I can get this fitted out then. And then you will be seeing some videos posted. There'll be a series of videos on making all of the furniture to fit this cabinet then. So there'll be a video on doors. There'll be a video on the top, the tabletop and side panels. something for you to look forward to. It's a lovely paint to use, this one. I do like it. A little bit awkward under here. Get a bit of paint on there now. Lovely paint, this one. What we're doing, see, is we're not slapping thick coats on you. When you're painting, you just want to do it in coats, that's all. So put a thin layer on to start with, and then you can put a decent layer on then on your final coat. Don't have to be too thick. People do panic when they're painting and they think they got to apply a lot of paint. We don't have to apply a lot of paint. You do it in coats. Seeing it doesn't take long, does it? It's taken, what's that taken me? 5 minutes, and I've just done that one section. So I'll go ahead now and blast through this quickly, and then later on this evening I'll do another coat. Now I'm going to have to do 2 coats on this. I've also, the thing you find of MDF, alright, this will have 4 coats in total when this is done. I've already put 2 coats of undercoat on. I've sanded each coat of undercoat as well, to make sure there's no bits on here. And now we're putting the top coats on. So we just lay our sides, our corners, and then we will blend them in then with the roller to give it a nice finish. You're not putting it on thick, so you're just putting a thin layer of paint on, and your second coat is the one that'll finish it off. Just like so. Some in there. This is the awkward bit, doing the heads. Never a fan of this bit. There we go. blend that in there. I've gone quiet now, everyone. Lovely. And just see that, you just gotta watch your roller doesn't knock while you just paint it as well. You gotta go gently with these because they leave little tiny bubbles. Nice and slow. What we got over there? Where's my paper? That land on there then? Probably did. That's okay. Been worse than a bump in it. Lovely stuff. It don't take long. Very awkward. Thank you, Danny. So yeah, I'm just working my way up the cupboard now. Don't get me wrong, it is a right pain painting MDF. I'm not a fan of it. But this has already had 2 undercoats, and now I'll be doing 2 top coats today. So yeah, I'm just going to put a coat on here quick. I'll leave it dry a couple of hours and I'll have to pop back out here later. I'm not happy about that, but I need to get it all painted up today so I can get it fitted tomorrow then. So once I've fitted this, then I can go ahead and then we can start making the oak surround. So this is going to have a resin top, it's going to have oak sides, it's going to have a little pelmet underneath with lighting under there, and then I'm going to be making the oak doors to go on here. I don't know what I'm doing for the doors yet. I haven't got a clue. I've come up with some ideas, so I'm just deciding what to do with them. I don't know if I want to go plain resin or what. I don't know yet. I've come up with some ideas, but it's just going to be one of those things, whatever I feel like on the day, I think. And then we can go ahead then and start making that. So that'll be a nice video to post. Obviously, I've got to get around to doing all of that. I've got all the material here. But like I said, I keep changing my mind, so I might need to buy more material. I don't know yet. So yeah, that'll be coming up very shortly. Obviously, we've got to finish the maple boards on Alive as well. We've got to do them. There's loads of stuff coming. It's just having time to get it all up. And obviously, running a business, I'm very busy as it is working. Obviously, this channel is my hobby. So I'd like to get over to the channel at some point, but we've just got to see how that goes. I'd like to say the channel's not doing as well as it used to at the moment. But there we go. It's people's interests at the end of the day. We'll go ahead now and get another coat on this. But this is a putty colour. It's a nice colour. I like it personally. I don't know if you like it. I don't know if you can see it tidy on the video. I don't know. It's a nice colour, mind, isn't it? It is a nice colour. I like it. This is a satin wood. So this will just be a mild sheen. Nothing too much like a gloss. So this is a satin finish. I know it lasts because I got it on my cupboards in my wardrobe in the house, and I know it's quite tough wearing. They still look pretty brand new, so I'm glad I don't have to repaint them yet. So yeah, I think it's going to last a good few years in the wardrobe, to be honest with you. I'm just popping a coat of paint on here. I'm only putting a thin layer on. I'm not going thick. I'm trying to slap it on. That's what ruins the job, having thick paint. Just putting thin layers on there like I'm doing. Leave it for 5 and then you can go back over it. But you're never using your roller loaded. You use what's left on the roller. It is neutral, Danny. Yeah, it's a nice colour. I do like it. I'm not going to lie. It is a nice colour. I am a fan of it. So yeah, I'm not applying my paint thick. All I'm doing is thin coats on here. Nothing major. And once this coat dries, then I can put, it'll still be another thin coat anyway. I never apply it thick. But I can put a tidy coat on there then. And then it'll look lovely. But like I said, MDF is a pain to paint. Not a lot of people like doing MDF. I don't mind doing it. Because I don't mind painting, I'm not going to lie. You see me do a lot of painting in a lot of my videos. It doesn't bother me painting. And the reason why painting doesn't bother me, I will say, it's not a stressful job, is it? Like some of all the other jobs I do doing work, it can turn into stress. Little things can go wrong. What's wrong with a bit of painting? You can always mop it up. And the worst thing you can do is change someone's carpet, and that's it. But I don't mind a bit of painting. It's relaxing. We're getting up to the top one now. See, and I just go over these, lightly press on them because we've done a little round over with a router. Well, we've done a chamfer with a router on them. Nothing fancy, is it? Looks decent. Should be a nice solid unit then. Well, it's not should, I know it's solid. It's all wood glued together, so it's not going to fall apart. To be honest with you, I haven't taken much paint this. I've only filled the tray and we haven't even used it yet, so I'm happy with that. So I know I got plenty of paint, I don't have to buy any more. Probably have to put a bit more in here to finish off. So I'm just brushing in my sides quick. I try and be as fast as I can on this bit. You might be thinking, oh look at that, he's applying it rough. We're not, we're just getting the paint on in the corners as quick as we can, so then we can use the roller to get the brush lines out of there, and that's all we're doing. So we pop our paint on quick, nothing fancy, just lay it off, and then we can get rid of the paintbrush lines with our roller, quick and easy. It's as simple as that, that's all you're doing. I don't need to get in the backs because I got little trenches that I cut with dados with my router. A little bit of paint in my tray quickly. Only a dribble. Don't know what that is in there. I did mix it before I started, but there's obviously something in there. We're not worried by that. Then we get our roller quickly. And then we roller the lines out. Don't know if you've noticed, I always start in the middle and then I'll work my way out to the side then. That's the way I've always done it. That way you get a nice half decent even finish on there then. And then you press lightly then. You're not pressing hard now, and then that's it. I'll use what's left on the roller to do that bit for there. Nice and easy painting it. I sometimes like to do this on the sides as well. Then I'll come in this direction. It's just to stop me going like this and hitting myself in my face. A little bit awkward up here, I am stretching a bit. Whoop. That's what I didn't want to do, what I just said. Tiny bit of paint on there. I'll start higher up and then work my way down. And then we go back up to get rid of the lines. I'm going up because I'm going onto the round part of the roller, and that's what gets rid of the lines then. It's only for those of you who haven't painted before, doesn't know. Everyone's got their own methods, mine, but this is the way I like to paint. Doesn't give me any problems. There is some videos on my YouTube channel, mine, for those of you who haven't watched them. There are painting MDF doors on there. If you want to jump on them, if you want interested in painting MDF. I've also got some videos on there about painting moisture resistant MDF and painting standard MDF to see the differences. This is standard MDF I'm painting by here. You do find with standard, mind, it does take an extra coat of paint, because what happens with a standard MDF is when you apply your coat of paint, it raises the grain, alright? So you've got to give it a sand in between each coat. So I've put a coat of undercoat on here, alright, I've sanded, I've then undercoated again, then sanded, only lightly, second time round, mind. And then I'm doing my top coat now. I'm probably going to find after painting all this there's a bit here and there I'm not happy with. But it doesn't bother me because this is in my house. If it was a customer's house I need to be more precise. But I do an half decent finish with a roller. And you can do a nice job. You don't always have to spray. I have got sprayers here. I haven't featured in any of my videos. I have got a, what's it called, a Graco one or something. I got one of them, yeah. Cost a bloody fortune. But the thing is, they fill the room full of dust. Have you ever used, sorry Denny, I know I haven't been looking. Have you ever used a mill card to check paint thickness? I've never used one of them, Denny. But I do apply my coats thinly, I'm not going to lie. I've always been shown if you're painting, you put a thin layer on first. It dries a hell of a lot quicker, and then you can get your second coat on there. A lot of people don't understand that. They think you can slap a thick coat of paint on and then it's covered, but it's not. It's all about the coats, isn't it? So I'm just going to turn this to the side now to paint this. I'm just going to put my hand on there, so we'll just clean that up where I've just hit. And I've got little bits to do on the back here, so I can just see what's going on in here. So no, Danny, I haven't used a mill card before. Obviously I know to apply a thin coat, that's what I try and do. This is the very back of the unit. I'm never going to be able to see in here anyway, so I'm not too worried about this back end. I am really concentrate my efforts on this bit, because this is going to be a floating TV cabinet. So as you can imagine, it's going to be very low on the ground. So when you open the door, you've actually got to get on your knees, put your head in the unit to see the back. So you're never going to see the back. So I'm not bothered by that. But we got it finished off decent in there. Just going to tip this now. As you can see that I've been sanding on here today. But this I've had 2 coats of paint. Sadly, this was done. Oh my God, I got a tiny little blemish there. This was done outside in the sun last weekend in the UK, and it was boiling. It was 30 degrees. I'll never paint in that heat ever again. It was a nightmare. I was waiting for the shade to come around. What did I do with my sanding block? I was waiting for the shade to come around, and it was still 29 degrees in the shade, and it was just too hot to paint. So obviously if you're sanding your paintwork, move your paint out of the way, because what will happen is the dust will fall onto that. Just trying to get rid of that. There's a tiny little roll of paint that's come on the corner. I think I'll leave it be, mind, because that's where my top is going. See where the paint's rolled around there? I'm not worried by that, because I'm cladding all of this cabinet out. But that's all you've got to keep an eye on, is the paint rolling. So we'll go ahead now and pop a coat on here. And then I've got to come back out here later then and put another coat. But it looks like this is drying really, really quick. There we go. Yeah, it's a nice colour. I do like this. We're just spreading this right up there now. Not pressing hard on the corners to try not to roll the paint around the edge like I done by there. Tiny little dimple by there, I will say. But I'm not bothered by that, because I know I'm cladding this. All I'm doing for this is to keep the missus happy at the moment. So I'll just make it look half decent to put in the house. And then I'll put the oak straight over the top then. So basically all you're going to see of this that I painted is inside. You're not going to see none of this really, but this is just for now. I know there's not many of you on this live. Painting is a bit boring, but I just thought I'd jump on you to do it. Just for those of you who's interested, that's all this is. So I'll go across the head now, pop a little bit on there. Just so I don't jump off of my roller, and I can blend this in then. All you're doing with painting, you're blending it in. Longer strokes now, down into what we just laid. Get all that blended in. I know what that was then. Little blemish in there. Get rid of that. No harm in sticking your fingers in there. Clean it all up. I'm not pressing hard on the edge because I don't want the paint to roll around there. And that's it, that's quite a nice finish on there. I'll just go around here now just to make sure that I haven't got a paint roll on the go, because that is my face. But then again, you're not really going to see a lot of that either, because there's going to be doors on there. But that's not bad. These gloss rollers are great. You can get a nice finish on them. Hi, how are you, Walter? I know I am. I did promise you 3 thin coats is better than 2 thick. Exactly, Denny. That's what I like to do. I've always preached it in coats. It always gives you a better finish. But yeah, that's looking nice. Don't know if you can see that tidy yourselves. Look, see? There it is. There's no lines in it anyway. It's looking half decent to me. But it is quite a dark room, as a lot of you know. I'm going to paint the backs of these now. And I've got a couple of these channels to paint, but there. I think I'll chuck a bit on the back as well, just for the sake of it, so it's all sealed up. And yeah, I'll see everyone on the next video. Oh, I tell you what, I might be jumping on tomorrow as well. I'm just going to get this fitted. And I think we'll try and crack on with some of these maples tomorrow. So I might be able to get two lives on the go, I'm thinking. So if I jump onto this cabinet early in the morning, chuck that on a wall, keep the missus happy, and I can jump out the other end and we can get a couple of lives on a go tomorrow. Yeah, and you, Denny. So I'll see everyone tomorrow. I think I can manage it. I think I can jump on you, all right? Over and out, everyone. Over and out.